Hi, I'm Shannon Miller, the Historic Preservation Officer for the City of San Antonio. I'm pleased to join you this morning from Texas via video. Since today's program started at approximately 3:30 a.m., I think you'll understand why we are sharing pre-recorded comments. Doug Melnick, Jenny Hay, and I are disappointed to not be with you today at the Royal College of Physicians. We keep reminding ourselves that at least it means we're flying less. We are proud to be one of the first American cities to join the Climate Heritage Network. Over the past year, we have benefited from conversations and collaborations made possible by the passionate participation of leaders from across the globe. Here in the United States, it is more important than ever that we stand up and take action to address the challenges that climate change presents to our historic resources. Cultural heritage anchors social memory and cohesion, informs community identity, and instills a sense of place. This is essential in sustaining inherent resilience. At the same time, as preservation professionals, we must use our knowledge and expertise to mitigate greenhouse gas emissions and guide our communities as we adapt to a changing Earth. You are probably already familiar with San Antonio's most visited historic site, the Alamo. It is one of 5 Spanish missions built by Franciscan missionaries in the 18th century along the banks of a spring-fed river as they sought to expand their reach and convert the Native Americans who lived here. Our missions were inscribed as a World Heritage Site in 2015. Beyond the magnificent buildings that still stand today, the inscription recognizes the value of the intangible heritage born of the cultural collision that took place here 3 centuries ago. In 2018, UNESCO honored our delicious local culinary traditions by recognizing San Antonio as a creative city of gastronomy, one of only 2 in the United States. From food to performance, art, and music, these cultural traditions, our living heritage, make San Antonio like no other place on Earth. At the City of San Antonio Office of Historic Preservation, we pride ourselves on being one of the most progressive and innovative municipal preservation programs in the country. With 20 full-time staff members and growing, our office works collaboratively amongst diverse preservation practice areas, including living heritage and cultural initiatives, design review, archaeology, survey and designation, and public engagement and outreach. Concurrent initiatives include a Living Heritage Symposium, now in its 3rd year, which aims to develop best practices for the treatment of cultural and intangible heritage, the Living Heritage Trades Academy, a pilot school under development to build and sustain a workforce skilled in traditional crafts and historic building trades, and the Rehabber Club, a network of homeowners, do-it-yourselfers, and contractors dedicated to the revitalization of San Antonio's historic buildings. The city is no stranger to climate hazards. In fact, the Riverwalk, another of our most loved historic sites, was built as a flood mitigation project in 1939 after a series of catastrophic floods in the early 20th century killed hundreds of residents and severely damaged buildings downtown. Climate change is bringing heightened risk of flash flooding, longer periods of excessive heat, and lower annual rainfall. In 2018, as we celebrated our tricentennial, San Antonio began developing its first Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. Our early involvement with the Climate Heritage Network gave us access to communities and experts who had experience creating similar plans, and we were able to learn from them as we worked to foreground cultural heritage in the plan. Staff from our team joined the technical working groups that produced the plan in less than 2 years. At each stage of the draft, we reviewed and provided feedback to the Office of Sustainability. We met with their consultants to provide input to the document, and the Chief Sustainability Officer, Doug Melnick, actually spoke with me at the Climate Heritage Mobilization in San Francisco during last year's Global Climate Summit. Just 1 week ago, San Antonio City Council approved the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. In this document, you won't find a chapter on cultural heritage. Instead, heritage values are incorporated throughout the plan. The plan is strong, and our agency's involvement is solidified through the collaborative management of mitigation and adaptation strategies. On the municipal level, the city commits to producing a climate heritage strategic plan. And perhaps most importantly, the plan recognizes that climate change will disproportionately affect our most vulnerable community members and intentionally addresses this disparity through a climate equity framework. Each strategy implemented through the plan must be evaluated by an equity screening tool that includes 5 themes, one of which is cultural preservation. City Council's approval was an important, vital step, but we aren't waiting for its implementation. We know that we must act now. To that end, our office is currently leading a deconstruction and salvage policy initiative. Other U.S. cities have begun to develop and implement similar programs, but San Antonio is poised to become the largest city to enact a deconstruction ordinance and the only one led by a preservation office. On average, a 1,000 square foot house has the equivalent of 16 mature trees. Houses constructed prior to the 1940s building boom used old-growth lumber, which is more durable and more resistant to rot, decay, and warping than lumber harvested today from younger forests. By salvaging quality materials, deconstruction contributes to the development of a culture of reuse versus a culture of waste. Approaching deconstruction and salvage policy through a heritage conservation lens is transformative in its approach to material circularity, which reframes building material waste as a component of cultural heritage and community value. We are aiming to establish a model by which historic preservation professionals can engage with, develop, and implement strategies to manage the byproducts of building removal. By doing so, we believe that our project has the potential to demonstrate the cultural value of reclaimed building materials in a way that will contribute to the broader movement surrounding the development and sustaining of a circular economy. We are also creating new opportunities to support traditional building trades. Hands-on trades education creates a workforce equipped to restore San Antonio's historic buildings. By training the next generation of craftspeople, we are providing building owners with an alternative to demolition, keeping building materials out of the landfill. In partnership with the Power of Preservation Foundation, a local nonprofit focused on promoting the literal power of preservation in San Antonio, our office is working to rehabilitate the Kelso House, a grand 1906 house that was previously vacant for nearly 20 years. The restored house will be a testament to hands-on learning and sustainable building practices. In 2018, we launched the Kelso House Learning Lab, which places students in an apprenticeship where they gain real-world experience in the preservation trades. This effort provides the framework for future partnerships, establishing a foundation for the development of a traditional trade school. As a result of the learning labs and our ongoing training programs, 4 new window repair businesses have been founded by our students. We know that many American cities are developing innovative programs of their own. As we all work to address similar challenges in our communities, joining the Climate Heritage Network will serve to leverage our efforts and foster new collaborations among local municipalities. In August, we hosted the first Climate Heritage Peer Learning Exchange here in San Antonio. We put the historic preservation officers from New York City, Boston, Los Angeles, and San Antonio in the same room with leaders in the sustainability offices from the same cities for 2 days. Our conversations focused on 2 questions. How can cultural heritage support local climate action and adaptation? And how can we incorporate climate-wise principles into preservation planning? The group shared examples of programs and initiatives from community engagement and education to the introduction of climate-wise technical guidance into designation policies and design review regulations. We identified a need for clear communication tools that professionals in both sustainability and preservation agencies can use to support one another's work. Products like hyperlocal risk assessment and retrofitting recommendations can help empower neighborhoods and communities to be full participants in successfully implementing climate action strategies. One of our biggest takeaways from the exchange was the need to grow the conversation. The Climate Heritage Network will be key in carrying forward this work. Local preservation commissions need our help in understanding their role in climate action, and our sustainability agencies need us to actively participate in guiding the implementation of climate plans to respect our tangible and intangible cultural heritage. Our efforts, in combination with the bold work being done by other members of the Climate Heritage Network, can help expand the existing heritage conservation paradigm towards an overarching ethos of climate heritage. A dynamic preservation movement for the 21st century focused jointly on an equitable, adaptable, and resilient future. Thank you and good luck today.